Hey everybody, it's Scott and Sheila.
How are y'all doing? We get asked a lot about how one of our expeditions goes and what it all entails. Basically, our expeditions are a 2 night camping trip deep in the forests. We're in very remote areas. A lot of these places don't have cell service. Some places may or may not have any amenities, most do not. So, it's not like we're in a state campground all the time or anything. We're out in the thick of the
Yeah,
wilderness.
it's not like a state campground or anything. Most people tent camp. If you have a small camper trailer, you're more than welcome to bring that.
We have a lot of folks at car camp.
Yeah, yeah, sure do.
They've set their vehicles up to car camp, and that's all great. We gather up on Fridays. We gather up on Friday around lunchtime. We try to have everyone there before 4 o'clock. That way, they have the opportunity to get their campsite set up and all their little things taken care of.
They get to eat.
Yeah. Then we'll put on dinner the first night. It's usually a camp cuisine type dinner.
Hamburgers, hot dogs.
Yeah, hamburgers, hot dogs, chips. There'll be some other stuff there. We do that. We go through our safety briefings. And one thing a lot of people all like is we all sit around the fire pit there, let everyone introduce themselves, tell a little bit about what got them into this, going on one of these outings. And that way it brings everybody a little closer together. At least they,
It makes them less nervous too.
yeah,
Once you kind of get to know that people are there for the same reason they are, and then they start talking amongst themselves.
they feel like they know each other a little bit more, which they do, and that makes it a lot better going out on the trails at night. With people that you've met and you know a little bit about. Then, after dinner and everything, when time comes right, we'll ease out to our areas where we're going to be out on the trails. We set this situation up to where we'll have a fire ring there. That is for the sitting group. That is for people that either are unable to hike or they just don't want to hike off in the middle of the forest and dead of the night.
And to be honest, we have activity around the fire ring, so
And a lot of times they do. They have more activity around the fire ring because the hiking group will go off and do their thing on the trails and everything. And as the hiking group makes its way back to the sitting group, anything that's out there, that we've encountered out there, generally, not always, but generally, will follow us back to the sitting area.
and to base camp.
Yeah, and it'll follow us back to base camp. And, once that evening's over, we come on back to base camp and people have the option of sitting around the fire pit, talking about the evening, doing what they kind of want to do. We're not regimented by time frames and time slots and all that stuff. Are they, a lot of times people are ready to bed down by that time. We bounce up the next morning.
I don't say bounce. We don't get up at 6 o'clock. We're not,
no.
But of course we do get up and cook a really good breakfast for everybody.
Yeah.
Which turns into more like brunch because it's about 9 or 10 o'clock by that time.
Oh yeah, that's like I said. We're not, hard fast on time frames and everything. People come to these things to enjoy themselves, have a good time with it,
Yeah.
meet other folks, hopefully get the opportunity for an encounter of some sort. So, it's their time. So we kind of let them run on their own schedule pace. But after we do our breakfast thing, we'll sit around, talk about the night before around the fire pit and some odds and ends like that. Then
Or their own encounters.
Yeah.
People like to share their own encounters,
Yeah,
or if
they
they
do.
have questions.
then we'll do an activity during the day. It may be where we go back to the area we were the night before. We may take everyone to the Bigfoot Museum. It all depends on where we're at. We utilize several different locations for these things, and we pick our location as to which area is most active at the time, because we want to, afford everybody the best opportunity they can to have an encounter. We can't guarantee any of that, but we do our best to make sure that we are in the most active areas at the time.
Right.
Then Saturday evening we'll roll around and we'll we'll have a potluck dinner where everybody brings something for the table fare.
There's always way too much. Oh my
Lord,
gosh.
there's more food there than you can feed an army with it.
By that time, everybody's really loosened up and act like they've known each other for years. So it really
Yeah.
gets, it's interesting and
It
it's
really
fun
is.
to watch other people.
And the good thing for us is we get to watch friendships,
Right.
be born. And we have a lot of folks that, are repeat clients coming back. Like this year, we've got on one of our expeditions, I got some phone calls and they were scheduling amongst themselves of when they were going to come back together. So a lot of these folks leave lifelong friends, and they leave lifelong friends with us also.
And we don't want nobody to think that we're taking you into the woods and you're hiking 5 miles
No.
of rugged terrain. That's not it at all. So if you think that you can't do it, then you're wrong.
Yes, absolutely. And we haven't never had the situation where we had anyone that was physically handicapped, as in a wheelchair or anything like that. But we do accommodate all those folks also. The areas we utilize, we drive, vehicles that are equipped to go the places we go. And if need be, we will drive a person all the way to the fire ring. All they think they have to do is be able to get out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
You
Now,
know,
one thing we just changed our rule about this is 14 and under. Now, if you're over 14 and immature, that's fine, but we don't want to be responsible for terrorizing a child, Lord forbid, or in case sometimes kids get scared, and that's understandable. But then we have to load everybody back up, and it's not fair to people that are legit out there trying to see what they can see. But if you're adamant you want to bring a child, then
we had our age restrictions at 16 years old. We moved those down a little bit. We moved those down to 14. And we've had a couple of individuals bring their children that were 14, 15 years old, and they handled themselves very well on the trails. So we decided to lower that to 14. And that'll open the door for a few more people, because we have had folks in the past, well, they're not quite 16 yet. We'll wait till next year. And actually, most of them that have told me that they've come on.
now you're never alone on the trail or anywhere. A guide, me, Scott, Nate, Haley, a guide will be with you. So, don't go out there worrying you're going to get got, because we're still here and we haven't lost anybody yet.
That's fact. That is fact.
The only other thing I want to mention too, to make sure, whatever you want to drink is on you. If you want to drink, we do have a big cooler water keg, right, of water. So if you got your cup or whatever, and I know Scott and them, they make coffee in the morning, but if you want sodas or whatever, then that's on you. And another thing I want to bring up is no drinking on the trails, no alcoholic beverages on the trails, because we're responsible for your safety.
That's right. The way to sign up for one of these outings, message us on Facebook.
Or to be honest with you, and it's hard for me to keep up with all, I get a lot of videos on here, so to be honest with you, it's easier to just text us or call us.
Text us or call us. And the other thing we offer folks is we do one-night excursions. A one-night excursion is...
That's not overnight.
No, it's just between a 4 and 6 hour trip for one evening. We invite families on that. We do have a minimum participant list of 5 people for that. We also offer private expeditions
For families.
Yes, 2-night camping trips. We have a minimum number for that of 8 people. We will do it at smaller numbers than that, but the fees are for the minimum.
In our first expedition, we'll have Maria and Russell coming up. That's a private expedition, but we'll have ours starting the 1st of May, and the dates are listed on here. So if you're thinking about going, you want to go ahead and call or text and reserve your spot. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call, to text, just to reach out. We'll be happy to answer them. But the goal is to have fun.
That's it.
And hopefully have a sighting or some activity.
All right.
And we love y'all and thank y'all so much.